I'm Corbett Wall with DVAuction, here with your feeder flash for Wednesday, September the 13th, brought to you in part by Livestock Risk Services. Dakota Moss, I talk about him often. He offices there at the Oklahoma National Stockyards in Oklahoma City. They are the LRP specialists, him and his other agents that are listed here. And you guys have to call them about questions. Look at these out front feeder cattle futures. You can buy LRPs based on them and get you some calves if you've got the feed, but you've got to have the protection. Be sure and call Dakota or one of his agents there to help you out. For more information, go to livestockriskservices.com. Bearish crop report. What did the bearish crop report do to the cattle? It interrupted the correction that was going to happen on the cattle futures. They've been up big here late last week and on Monday, and we're due to go down. They were down big early on Tuesday. The bearish crop report come out and brought them back up, not higher really, but at least up to flush, and stopped a correction there. So now we're looking at continuing, maybe going up here throughout the week. But the crop report found more harvested acres than what they thought they had. It bumped the corn production estimate up to 15.134 million bushels, and that is more than what the analysts had thought. It increased the average yield estimate also. So if there's more corn out there, you would think that especially feeder cattle would be higher. But you know, they didn't go higher on the spot market on the September feeder cattle. They were down some. Of course, they've been trading at such a big premium to what our cash index levels are. They've got to start backing down a little bit because we're getting around the middle of the month here. They're going to have to meet up at some point, and there's a long stretch there, you know, about $7 that they're going to have to, either the index is going to have to come up or the September feeder cattle are going to have to come down. But your back months were more moderate and pretty much steady from then on, and then live cattle were pretty much steady also. But we talk about your fat cattle market. Of course, we haven't seen any trade on a direct basis out of the 5-area feeding region yet, but we are seeing signs that the packers are going to have to start coming in and buying some of these top quality cattle. They got fairly aggressive in a brick and mortar sale in Yankton, South Dakota on Tuesday. I'll give you that information here in a minute. But they have backed up their slaughter so much, they're bound to be getting shorter product to meet the needs that they've promised their customers there. But let's talk about your board on Tuesday. October live cattle futures down 7 cents, is all at 184.15. December was up 17 cents at 188.45. And your back months on live cattle were down just 10 cents to up as much as 40 cents. So they were down hard earlier before that bearish crop report come out. September feeder cattle were down 90 cents. Like I said, they have gone so much far past your cash index levels that they will have to meet up with at the end of the month, that they're going to have to moderate some. But ended the day on Tuesday at 255.32. October was down 20 cents at 261.25, but your back months were all up 15 cents to 80 cents, and that's what I'm talking about. Check out those back months when you might be selling some of them feeder cattle if you were to buy calves here right away, and you can buy LRPs pretty much right in line with those, and they are very, very handsome. They'll cost you a little bit of money, but you still got some room there, guys. But talk about your grains down big. December new crop corn down 9.25 cents at 476.5. Beans down 22.5 cents for the new crop November at 1346.5. Kansas City hard red winter wheat for December was up 7 cents at 730.75 cents a bushel. Like I said, fat cattle trade, nothing to speak of. Nothing out of Iowa. Nebraska did have 200 head of sales. They were steers that were reported in the 65 to 80% choice category there at 180. Really? Are they going to back up $3 to $6? I don't see that. That was just an outside sale that was off the market. Kansas didn't have any sales. Texas didn't have any sales. But Stockman's Livestock Market in Yankton, South Dakota had 1,100 in overnight, 2,100 head for the sale. The drug-free cattle were not well tested, hardly any of those to test the market. Non-implanted cattle, which draws pretty good attention, they sold $2 to $6 higher, and the finish on them, the quality on them was very good according to Gary Marks, and they sold from $194.5 to $199. He told me there were several lots that sold in the ring at Yankton, South Dakota that were over $310 in the beef. And then they're not wanting to give near anything like that out in the country. But conventional cattle, 182 to 188.50, that was firm to a buck higher on the conventional cattle. And like I said, the quality was better than what they normally have. The majors were active in the bidding against those regional packers there pretty aggressively. Box beef cutout values were lower again. They just cannot seem to keep those up. Of course, they just show us what they want us to see, and we're only seeing the quotes on the little bitty dab of spot cash trade on there. Most all of those sales are far out front. There are formulas also, just like on the cattle, but choice quotes out of your cutout values down 208 at 308.03. Selects down 166 at 283.78. Your slaughter through the first 2 days of the week, 252,000, which is not terrible, but it's still 3,000 less than a year ago. We can't really go back to last week because of the holidays there, but still running fairly decent, but it always seems to peter out as we go down through the week. But look at a big video market that happened on Tuesday. Western video markets. Of course, we take online bids for them with DVAuction there. They're partners with us. They're doing several big production sales here later this week out in California. This is California's production sales season right now, and they've got several big production sales coming up on DVAuction with Western Video Market personnel doing those sales. But I wanted to give you some top sales out of the sale that they had in Ogallala, Nebraska there. And the best one that I saw in calves was the Craig and Jean Spratling calves. 90 wean steer calves, ranch raised, 520 pounds at delivery in early November near Elko, Nevada. They were natural, NHTC and veg fed, but 90 wean steer calves weighing 520 at delivery bring $353. Big time quote. I've been telling you about that sale for the last several meetings there, but they also had a pretty impressive selection of replacement stock, including in there was the Blue River Cattle Company. They sold 2 loads of bred heifers out of Milford, Nebraska, 1,125 pounds, be top quality Angus there for December delivery, bring $28.75 per head. Very impressive there out of Western Video Market sale on Tuesday. Talk about what else is going on. Legend Bank. If you guys are looking for fast and efficient cattle financing, talk to some guys that know about cattle loans. They're the top lenders on cattle in North Texas, but they can help you in all of Texas and Oklahoma. Get a hold of Legend Bank and talk to Greg Brooks or Ricky Taylor, and they will absolutely help you there. Remember, Legend Bank is a member of FDIC. The loans are based on credit approval, and they are equal housing lender there. But check them out at legend.bank. Talk about your feeder cattle market. How about your real-time index on DVAuction late in the day on Tuesday based on an 800-pound cash auction steer up through your middle 12 states? 248.66. That was down 26 cents. Your CME cash feeder cattle index is running a little bit ahead of that, staying up over 250, but still $5 back of your spot feeder cattle futures there at 250.88. Don't forget, Joplin Regional Stockyards is having a big cow special here today on Wednesday. Starts at 4:30 in the afternoon. They've got a big 2 or 3 big dispersals on there. A lot of bred cows, a lot of cow-calf pairs. Get on to DVAuction.com. If you can't make it to Joplin Regional Stockyards, get approved and bid on that replacement stock out of the special cow sale at Joplin Regional Stockyards. Also coming up on Thursday, Elite Livestock Sales out of Montgomery, Alabama. They've got a big video sale. Got 36 loads of cattle going to sell on DVAuction there on Thursday. They're coming from 5 different states. They've got some cattle out of Kansas on there. You know, they're really doing a good job there at Elite Livestock Sales. And drawing cattle out of Kansas gives you an idea how good they're doing. Get on to DVAuction.com and bid that sale there. Talk about some big sales that happened on Tuesday. How about Ozarks Regional Stockyard, West Plains, Missouri? They had 3,400 head through the ring. Another 816 head through their in-house video that they do with help from DVAuction. And their steer calves were higher, $3 to $6 higher. They come out aggressive for those guys. We'd seen some big high volume Monday sales that were steady to lower on calves, but Ozarks Regional Stockyard and West Plains $3 to $6 higher on steer calves. Heifer calves off a little bit from steady to $4 lower. A lighter test of yearling feeders sold mostly steady. Your NationalBeefWire stick-out sale of the day was Denny Rezac Livestock Commission in St. Mary's, Kansas. Their yearling steers weighing from 800 to 1,000 pounds were $2 to $3 higher than last week. They had over 1,700 head of feeders at their sale on Tuesday. Going to give you the best tested quotes out of this automated market report from Cattle Market Central. How about 281 head of 8-weight steers out of St. Mary's, Kansas? They averaged $863 with a weighted average price of $246.62. And 573 head of 9-weight steers in St. Mary's, Kansas had a weighted average weight of 946, weighted average price of $238.01. Give you several individual quotes from all around. How about Miles City Livestock Commission in Miles City, Montana? Sold 57 steer calves. They weighed 391, bring $391. Big time quote on some fancy light steer calves there. How about Beaver County Stockyards in Beaver, Oklahoma? Had a big string they sold in one whack. 250 steers weighed 785, bring $255.50 in Beaver, Oklahoma. Let's go out east. How about Bluegrass Stockyards in Lexington, Kentucky? That's your main place right there, main location for Bluegrass Stockyards. They sold 109 big steers, weighed 916 pounds at $240.75. But the most impressive quote that I saw on a brick and mortar sale on Tuesday in your Macrocin, no BS, top quote for the day, come out of Creighton Livestock Market in Creighton, Nebraska. It was 77 steers, weighed 823, bring $262. And that's your feeder flash for Wednesday.